No, it's too late. You're in the door. Let's go. What do you got? She tried to stop. Oh, we're still on this?
Yeah,
Let's go tomorrow.
Dude,
You can't. No, you can't do that on the vlog. Tomorrow. All right, tomorrow. We have 4:30 in 2 weeks. I got new handles for my little mini arcade machine, and I'm really excited about that. Let's kick off this vlog by saying the following. It doesn't matter what kind of, I don't know, what kind of education you get, what kind of goals you achieve, what kind of greatness you think you have. It doesn't matter. Any of that stuff doesn't matter. It's still little things. It's still little things that make you happy. And like, so when I was a kid, I loved video games. Now I'm an adult, I still love video games. PlayStation, that kind of stuff, it's like not enough for me. I wanted a Street Fighter 2. Like when I was 15, I think I was 15th birthday, 14th birthday, something like that. I got a Street Fighter 2 machine. I rented it for a month. Mom and Dad, I think they knew I was just putting dollar after dollar after dollar into the machine. They rented one. I had it in my garage. I became wicked good at it. Wicked good. If anytime you hear me say hella or wicked, you know it's me emphasizing the fact that I'm serious about it because I don't usually talk like that. And so I got really good at it. I can use Rue, Ken, I can beat you. I don't even know who's watching this. I mean, with a few exceptions, I can beat you at it. And so I got Arcade 1-Up, not a paid advertisement. They made like a mini 3/4 scale arcade machine, and I got one, and it came with like these round ball joysticks. And so I had to upgrade them to these that are kind of, I don't know, more traditional joystick shape. Because, you know, if you want a Hadouken with the best of them, you gotta have the right equipment. All right, Karla, what's up?
Is outside.
Time out. No names. I'm gonna turn to the vlog. I'm gonna say the following. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Sometimes good things happen to good people. Sometimes good things and bad things happen to good people. And so the client I was just with, I think kind of unfairly got hit with a HOA fine. And so we're talking about what we can do to appeal or take steps to unwind the fine that was imposed by his homeowners association. And on the way out the door, he's like, oh yeah, sorry I didn't get back to you last week. I was at the Masters. And it's like, okay, well, so now I don't feel nearly as bad for you anymore because you're at the Masters. And then you find out he won the trip to the Masters. So good things happen to good people. He won a trip to the Masters. Bad things happen to good people. He got a no-nonsense HOA fine. Hopefully we can knock it out. You see me looking over at it because I don't really like it. I think it's kind of nonsense. Anyways, where were we? Fancy new joysticks for my arcade machine. I can't wait to get home. I have to take my, I gotta take my money and send it to the government. I have to mail my taxes
I have to go give my money away.
We tried so hard to not talk about taxes on this episode, but it's just coming out of me because I constantly want to complain. Like I said previously, the only thing more American than paying taxes is complaining about paying taxes. And so I want to complain about paying taxes, but then I try to remind myself, you only pay taxes if you make money, so you should want to pay more taxes. Your goal should be to pay millions and millions in taxes, because then that means you're making even more than those millions and millions. So we're not paying millions and millions in taxes by any means, but I hope to one day do that. Ugh! I'll probably still hate it though. I mean, that's kind of my point. I'll probably still hate it. Anyways, so here we are. It is the Monday after the first weekend of Coachella, and it's a prime time for us to give the 3 pros. I guess we're gonna try with 3 and 3 cons, and again, we're gonna try to get 3 of having the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival like in our backyard. My office, you see me look behind me, is at the corner of Fred Waring and Washington Street. If you exit the 10 freeway at Washington in order to go up to, I don't know, the La Quinta Resort, or maybe PGA West Homeowners Association, or any number of other places that you might be staying for the music festival, you drive right by this office. So 3 pros, 3 cons of the music festival. What do we want to do? Want to start with pros or cons? The good news or the bad news?
Let's go with pros.
Let's go with the pros. We can kind of intermix them too. The pros. The first pro, in my opinion, is name brand recognition. How many people would know where you live if it wasn't for the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival? When you go out of town, when you go to, I don't know, Phoenix, Vegas, Texas, when you go to Europe, when you go anywhere, when you talk to someone who's not from here and they ask you, where are you from? Especially if you don't necessarily live in true Palm Springs. Like Palm Springs is our kind of our anchor city, the most well-known city. So generally people say, I live in Palm Springs, I live in the Palm Springs area, right? That would be how you, if you live in Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, or any number of the Coachella Valley cities, you kind of tie yourself to Palm Springs. But you just heard me say the Coachella Valley cities. I think even the use of the phrase Coachella Valley has been increased because of the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. It's kind of put a name brand on our entire valley. And here we go right into the cons. The first con I'll say is it's kind of put a name brand on our valley, right? Is this what we want the entire valley to be known for? Now, the first argument about whether this is even really a con is I'm not 100% convinced that this is really what our valley is known for. The presidents love to retire here. Playground of presidents is kind of a commonly used phrase. People love to retire here. God's waiting room is also another commonly used phrase. People love to play golf. There's a ton of golf courses here. I'm pretty sure it's still, if not it's up there as far as golf capitals of the world. And so there's a number of different reasons the Valley still could be known for something else. Of course, my personal favorite, the 5th largest tennis tournament in the world, the BNP Paribas Open, which takes place across the street. So there's a number of events that you'd like to think the Coachella Valley is known for beyond just the music festival. But 125,000 people, 2 weekends in a row. Sells out every year. Pretty sure it's like the most lucrative from a financial standpoint music festival in the world. And so you'd be kidding yourself if you didn't think that people were getting to know both the brand and the name of our community based on this music festival. So I think there you go. I just gave a pro and a con, if you will. A pro because, without the music festival, people maybe wouldn't even know where we are. And then the con, of course, is this what you want to be known for? Is this big music festival? And I guess kind of part of what's implied in there is that people look at Coachella as if it's kind of a bunch of young kids taking drugs. I don't think I necessarily, because I've been to Coachella, I don't know if I would describe it that way, but I think kind of reputation-wise, that's a little bit of definitely built into the name of it there. All right, so let's go to a second pro. A second pro, in my opinion, I'm a business attorney. Unquestionably, the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival brings a ton of business to our community. I don't care if you own a grocery store, if you have a vacation rental, there is so many more people here eating, sleeping, drinking, water, alcohol, everything in between. There's more sales of all kinds taking place here. We also have legal marijuana. I imagine our marijuana dispensaries had an increase, which again, whether you're pro or con for the marijuana science, it does increase tax revenue. So sales tax on anything being sold at like Ralph's or the Marriott or anything in between is a benefit that all of us get to enjoy based on the influx of people who come here to enjoy the music festival. And when I say enjoy the music festival, I mean rage. They come here to have a great time, whether they're camping or staying at the hotels. And so that I think is absolutely a pro. I have a law practice. Even I generally see some business from the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. Generally speaking, vacation rentals, clients who have invested in real estate and then rent their properties out, who maybe run into issues with their tenants. And when I say that, people assume it's like these people come to Coachella and they destroy the house. That's not really what it is. Sometimes it can be problems with original payments that never go through, or future arrangements to rent the property that don't come to fruition. Sometimes it's even businesses that try to work out relationships to have multiple events, so photo shoots in the future, and then they kind of I'll say some of the Coachella vibe wears off and they decide to go a different course or maybe do a shoot somewhere else, and then they want to cancel. So it's like business relations that maybe wouldn't have even come together if it wasn't for the music festival. And so I think a lot of us, myself included, benefit from that. And so that's definitely a pro. A con, with more people comes more traffic. There are just people everywhere. There are people in every crosswalk, people in every intersection. There are people everywhere. The restaurants are more full. You can't get a table. The grocery store is more full. You can't get lemonade. I mean, it's like there are just a lot more people. Every stoplight has more people in it. Now, I want to just take a moment and say, you have to be very close to the festival to have that problem. Like any major event, like a sporting event, for example, before the game starts, after the game ends, there's a ton of traffic as people go in and out of the facility. That's no different at Coachella. So I kind of say it's definitely a con, though. I mean, I'd be kidding myself if I didn't say there's a bunch of buses, there's a bunch of people, there's a bunch of traffic, and so that's definitely a negative. I want to wink to my friends who are on city council and stuff like that, because I think they do a pretty good job with managing it. But anytime you add 125,000 people to anything, you're going to see a lot of traffic, and so yeah, we definitely feel the pinch here as well. The third item, I gotta pay my taxes. Let's go pay taxes. Karla, what's the best thing about the Coachella Music and Arts Festival?
Honestly, I don't even know anymore.
You don't know anymore?
No. It used to be about the music, now it's about the bloggers that come to it. It's so annoying. Like, Trader Joe's, like, you can't even walk in there because it's like people with their stupid little cameras looking at me. Are you filming this?
Yeah.
Can I say
There was a few duck
That's okay, we'll collect you out, you're good?
Yeah.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
It's just annoying.
And cut. Funny thing about, okay, wow, that was intense. Funny thing about the traffic is, I don't want to act like it's not real, because I was planning on dropping this very stuff off in La Quinta on Friday and then didn't because I was worried about the traffic. And so I was like, do I really need to drop this off on Friday? I don't really have to. I can take it on Monday. And so that's what I did. I rescheduled this entire journey, not just to have it, share it with all of you, but to avoid the traffic. And if you like the fact that I'm sharing it with all of you, hit the like button. If you have a comment, you have a question about Coachella, maybe you want to ask a 41-year-old attorney who happens to live in the area where the event takes place, put it in the comments below. And of course, subscribe. Always means a lot to us. Listen, Sugar Free, the rapper, once said, if you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. I stay ready. All right, the third thing, the third pro about Coachella, in my opinion, it is the music. It's like we get all these amazing bands coming to our little town. Like, I mean, Kanye West has performed here a bunch of times now. Kid Cudi was here. Like, I mean, obviously I'm a little leaning towards hip hop, but like, Ariana Grande, I mean, she was there. She brought out Diddy or whatever. Anyways, but my point is just to say, like, generally in prior years, I wasn't a big fan of this year's lineup. But in other years, the music's outstanding. Now, what really makes Coachella, though, and probably the vibe that I referenced earlier, it's the multiculturalism. It's like the people from everywhere, from different states, different countries, different walks of life. Like everybody coming together just to kind of celebrate and enjoy the music in a beautiful setting, usually outstanding weather. That's like, that might be worth two. Like that's one of the most amazing, if not the most amazing thing about Coachella. It's the good vibe, the people. Like, everybody's in a good mood. Everyone's so excited and happy to be there. Everyone has a band that they want to see. And oftentimes, you'll find a band that you didn't even know before that you'll like a lot, all because of Coachella. Like, for me, that's Chromeo. I never even knew who Chromeo was until I saw them at Coachella. And now, like, I'm basically a Chromeo fan. It wouldn't have happened without Coachella. So that's the third pro. That's definitely a third pro. That might be a third and fourth pro, even though we never asked for a fourth pro. I can't even say how many times on the vlog we've been to the post office. We've been to the post office, like, the second place is Chipotle. Chipotle's the #1 spot. And then, no ad. Hashtag no ad. Let's see, is this the one we want? Oh, that one looks overstuffed. Let's go to this one. All right, there it is. America.
So what just happened right now?
You know what just happened right now? I paid my taxes. I got a lot of work to get back to, so we're gonna wrap this episode right now by saying the following. No more pros and cons, because I like Coachella more than I dislike it. Final score, 4 pros, 2 cons. I know there are more pros and cons. Actually, if you have a pro or con, share it in the comments below. Don't be afraid, tell me what you think. But I personally, I like the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. I actually like a lot of the events in our valley, and I'm not scared about, I don't know, anything kind of being branded as what our valley is, because maybe to you it's the music festival, maybe to someone else it's a tennis tournament, maybe to someone else it's Modernism Week. It could be something to everybody. And so with that, 4-2. I like the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival, and that's just the way it is. Hopefully you like this episode. You'll comment and share what you think, and of course subscribe. We look forward to seeing you, and you gotta look forward to seeing us on the next episode of Unbillable.